Hello everybody, welcome to Nana's Journey. I'm Deanna and I'm excited that we're going to start the Dragon Fruit Block of the Month quilt pattern. This is a Fat Quarter Shop exclusive. They only have so many kits, so once they're sold out, that's going to be it. It is a foundation paper pieced quilt. These are the pads of foundation paper piecing that were designed exclusively for this kit, so you will not be able to buy them separately. You have a 4-inch, 6-inch, some 3x6 flying geese, and 12-inch. So in the 12-inch you'll have Courthouse Steps, Economy, and Snail Trail. And in these two you'll have those as well as an economy block. Oh, sorry, as the square and the square, I mean. So this month we are just using the 4-inch block. And this pattern, it's very well written. I like it. It will give you a picture of the overall quilt. Tells you a little bit about the quilt. It uses the Tula Pink's fabrics. It tells you which ones you're going to do on which month. It tells you what comes in each pad of foundation paper. It gives you some tips and tricks. So if you see this symbol, you're going to cut it once diagonally, you know, the square. You want your stitch length at 1.5. You use a glue stick for the first piece, which I will show you. It does help to have an add-a-quarter ruler. It makes it very handy and much faster. And to press correctly. These are all the fabrics that we will be using. And you'll notice this cotton candy one, that's the background. And this is the backing. And you'll notice the size difference because there is a size difference. The pattern on the backing will be larger. So this is what we're doing for month 1. We're making 4 of each of these blocks. So there's 5 of them. And these are the fabrics we're using. Now I would show you the fabrics out of the bag, but when I videoed this earlier, I forgot to press record, and so they're already cut up. So you'll see them in a minute. So I'm going to show you how to do one of the log cabins. These 4 are log cabins, and this one is a courthouse step. So I'll show you how to do one of these and this one. And they are part of this block here. They're each of the corners in the middle. Next month we will be doing the square and the square, and then we can put these blocks together. And they are going in the corner of the quilt. So I'm really excited. I've never used foundation paper for something this big. So there's the directions for how to use the foundation paper. So some of these blocks are big, some are little, some are medium. And they tell you which colors to put where. So it's actually a lot easier than it looks. So let's get started. Okay, I have all my pieces cut for all my blocks. These are 3 of the blocks. There's going to be 4 blocks each of each design. And these are all log cabins. They're all coming out of this pad, this 4-inch pad. These are my scraps from this. And this is a log cabin, and then we have 1 courthouse steps. So I will show you how to do the log cabin and then the courthouse steps, and then I will do the rest off camera. And if you tear the pieces out of the pad one at a time, it might stay together longer. I did iron and starch my fabric, and I cut off the salvages before I cut the strips. And you want to check your quantity, because all the log cabins, I cut 4 of each strip, but when it came to the courthouse step, there was, some of the strips was 8. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. Make sure you shorten your stitch to around 1.5 so that it's easier to tear the papers off of. And then I will be using a glue stick for the very first piece to hold that in place. And so I think those are all the tips that I need to tell you about, and now we can get over to the sewing machine and start sewing. Okay, I'm going to start with the Courthouse Steps. It's these ones. You go 1, 2, 3 in a row, then you'll go top and bottom, side to side, top to bottom, side to side, top to bottom. I've got my numbers on the lines traced, and I put these down here, and these are the orders that I will do them in. So let's get started. Okay, I'll be using my add a quarter ruler. What it does is it has this little lip here. You can butt it up against your fabric. It gives you a 1/4 inch seam allowance when you trim along the edge. And like I said, I'm going to use a glue stick. You want to work on the wrong side of your paper, which is why I drew the lines. And you're going to put piece number 1 right side up. You want to center it. That is definitely going to cover all the lines because I cut them a little bigger. And then what you do is go to where number 2 is. So there's 1, 2. So we're going to fold it on the line there. We're going to add our 1/4 inch and trim. I'll turn this back over. We're going to take number 2, and everything else will be face down. Only number 1 is face up. So I'm going to put that right there so that it matches. And I'm going to lock at the beginning and at the end of the stitch. Then you want to open it up and press it. Okay, now it's just a lot of repeating. We are going to fold on the line, use our ruler, and trim. Going to take piece number 3, line it up, lock, sew, and lock. Now we're going to go over to number 4, fold it, go to number 5, And there is a block, and we will trim it when we're done with the other one. Okay, now I'm set up and ready to do the log cabin. We'll start with the 1, 2, 3, and you go, or just keep going around in a circle. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. And all the other blocks are also all log cabin. So let's get over to the sewing machine. Okay, try and remember that your first piece goes on the wrong side of the fabric down to the wrong side of the paper. And that's the only piece that does that. Everything else is face down. So we're going to take number 1 and we're going to trim between 1 and 2. Okay, now we're going to press and lock in at each end helps strengthen your block. Some people will just sew and then rip the paper away. You can also do that. I usually end up making a mess when I do that, so I do it this way. Okay, so now we want number 3. We're going to fold, trim, line up our number 3 piece, and sew on the lines between 1 and 2 and 3. And press. Okay, then we go to number 4, fold, trim, line up number 4, sew and press. And then we will do number 5, and you just repeat through the whole block. You're just going in a circle and repeating this process the whole time. Okay, and there we have it. Now we just need to get it trimmed. Okay, to trim these, you just trim on the very outside line. This inside line here is going to be your sew line when you bring the blocks together. So we're just going to put our ruler there, trim it up like you do a normal block. And there you have it. I've got all 5 blocks done. They're all ready to go. They still have the paper on. I will probably leave them on until next month when we use these to put a block together. So I hope you guys have fun, and thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you next time on Nana's Journey.